Good evening and welcome to College Sport Check Basketball Scoreboard for this Monday, January 16, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We got scores from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so we're going to get right into it. A bunch of games today for Monday. We got some scores, but we're going to focus over the weekend scores, and then we'll be back on Wednesday with a whole bunch of more scores, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, around 7:05, sometimes 7:25, but on demand anytime at Long Island's Community Radio, communityradioli.com. Click the College Sport Check button. All right. Starting with Friday, 6 games on Friday. Starting with Detroit defeating Oakland 93-88. Vermont over UMBC 81-72. Central Michigan defeats Toledo 96-88. Yale defeating Penn 68-60. Princeton over Brown 97-66. And then Manhattan defeats Rider 76-73. Now, take a look for Saturday, 150 games on Saturday, starting with number 1 Baylor defeating number 25 Kansas State 77-68. Number 2 Kansas over Oklahoma State 87-80. Number 3 Villanova defeats St. John 70-57. Number 4 UCLA over Utah 83-82. Number 5 Gonzaga over number 21 St. Mary's California 79-56. Number 6, Kentucky defeats Auburn 92-72. Number 14, Louisville over number 7, Duke 78-69. Number 8, Creighton defeating Truman 101-69. Number 11, North Carolina defeats number 9, Florida State 96-83. Number 10, West Virginia over Texas 74-72. Number 12, Butler over number 15, Xavier 83-78. Number 13, Oregon defeating Oregon State 85-43. Number 19, Virginia, they defeat Clemson 77-73. Number 20, Notre Dame over Virginia Tech 76-71. Number 23, Florida defeating Georgia 80-76 in overtime. Number 24, Penn State defeating Minnesota 52-50. Austin Peay defeats Eastern Illinois 92-84. Miami, Florida over Pittsburgh 72-46. College Sport Check Basketball Scoreboard. Georgetown defeats Connecticut 72-69. Northern Illinois over Bowling Green 69-52. Providence over Seton Hall 65-61. And Go Flyers, Dayton defeating Duquesne 76-57. Richmond over St. Joseph 70-66. New Hampshire over Binghamton 73-66. Mississippi State over Texas A&M 67-59. North Carolina, Greensboro over VMI 91-82. Indiana State over Bradley 81-71. Alabama Birmingham defeating Marshall 94-78. Sanford over Citadel 98-90. Towson defeats Northeastern 74-67. Chattanooga, they defeat Mercer 70-68. Marquette over DePaul 83-58. Gardner-Webb over Longwood 85-79. New Mexico over Colorado State 84-71. Canisius over Marist 91-58. Lehigh defeats Holy Cross 68-51. Some more scores from Saturday. Western Michigan, they defeat Kent State 92-88. Army West Point over American 53-49. North Carolina Wilmington defeats Hofstra 84-76. The Navy, they defeat Lafayette 88-51. IPFW over South Dakota. South Dakota defeats IPFW 66-63. Stony Brook over Maine 74-54. Bucknell over Colgate 83-69. Michigan over Nebraska 91-85. Ball State over Buffalo 92-77. College Sports Basketball Scoreboard. Davidson defeating VCU 69-63. I caught that game over the weekend. weekend. South Carolina upstate over Jacksonville, 73-66. Massachusetts Lowell over Hartford, 71-55. Quinnipiac defeats Iona, 97-91 in overtime. Southern Illinois over Evansville, 73-61. Winthrop over Campbell, 72-63. St. Louis defeats George Mason 63-56. Sacramento State over Northern Arizona 74-62. Rice over North Texas 101-79. Wright State over Milwaukee 70-67. And it was the battle for Brooklyn. LIU Brooklyn defeating St. Francis of Brooklyn 63-58. Valparaiso defeats Cleveland State 78-67. Akron defeats Miami, Ohio, 74-70. Eastern Michigan over Ohio, 53-49. Fairleigh Dickinson over Central Connecticut State, 59-47. Alabama over LSU, 81-66. Louisiana Tech over Old Dominion, 75-63. Montana State over Northern Colorado, 68-53. California, they defeat Washington State 58-54. Hampton over Delaware State 85-77 in overtime. Copen State over North Carolina A&T 75-73, also in overtime. Charleston defeating William and Mary 77-67. Sacred Heart defeats Bryant 112-110 in triple overtime, and Mount St. Mary's defeats St. Francis of PA 78-72. Howard defeats Maryland Eastern Shore 74-66. Drexel over Delaware 76-60. San Jose State over Air Force 89-85. Texas San Antonio over Florida International 57-55. IUPUI over Oral Roberts 91-85. Wagner defeats Robert Morris 53-50. James Madison over Ellen 60-59. Incarnate Word over Houston Baptist 82-77. NJIT over North Florida 84-78. Syracuse over Boston College 76-53. East Tennessee State defeats Western Carolina 75-52. Columbia over Cornell 79-75. Central Florida, they defeat Houston 77-70. Tulsa over Temple 70-68. South Carolina State over Bethune-Cookman 78-74. College Sport Check basketball scoreboard from Long Island, New York. South Alabama over Texas State 72-67 in overtime. Sam Houston State over Northwestern State 77-68. Kennesaw State over Stetson 84-65. Liberty University over Radford 71-64 in overtime. Coastal Carolina, they defeat Appalachian State 85-73. St. Bonaventure over Fordham 73-53. Florida Gulf Coast over Lipscomb 84-80. Georgia State over Louisiana Monroe 73-65 in overtime. Abilene Christian defeats Lamar University 67-64. All right. We have Florida Gulf Coast. They defeat Lipscomb 84-80. Georgia State over Louisiana Monroe 73-65 in overtime. Troy defeats Texas Arlington 93-71. North Carolina Asheville over Charleston Southern 76-67. TCU over Iowa State 84-77. Middle Tennessee defeats Western Kentucky 91-76. Maryland over Illinois 62-56. Arkansas over Missouri 92-73. Savannah State defeats Florida A&M 93-88. Memphis over South Florida 62-56. And then Mississippi Valley State defeats Cortland State 84-77. Denver defeats North Dakota State 79-55. Nevada over Wyoming 89-74. South Carolina over Ole Miss 67-56. Prairie View A&M over Jackson State 63-56. North Carolina Central over Norfolk State 72-57. Southern University over Arkansas Pine Bluff 76-75. Fresno State over Boise State 89-80. Charlotte defeats Southern Miss 82-66. Wofford over Furman 67-58. Arkansas State over Little Rock 77-72. So we have Tennessee Martin. They defeat Southeast Missouri State 79-69. Illinois Chicago over Youngstown State 92-89 in overtime. Stephen F. Austin over Nicholls State 80-60. High Point over Presbyterian 77-44. Belmont defeats Eastern Kentucky 72-59. Monmouth over Niagara 90-83. Alabama State over Alabama A&M 57-55. Morehead State over Tennessee State, 87-85. Murray State over SIUE, 67-59. Brown over Penn, 82-70. And then Omaha defeats Western Illinois, 86-72. So more scores from Saturday. Princeton defeats Yale, 66-58. Grand Canyon over Texas Rio Grande Valley 79-66. Santa Clara over Pepperdine 75-61. Texas A&M CC over Central Arkansas 88-81. Illinois State over Wichita State 76-62. Stanford over Washington 76-69. UC Irvine defeats Cal State Fullerton 87-67. Georgia Southern over Louisiana Lafayette 81-76. Portland State over Southern Utah 88-77. Tennessee defeats Vanderbilt 87-75. Jacksonville State over Tennessee Tech 74-59. Texas Southern over Grambling 76-55. Oklahoma defeats Texas Tech 84-75. UTEP over Florida Atlantic 66-65 in overtime. New Mexico State over Cal State Bakersfield 63-58. Montana defeating North Dakota 76-70. Utah Valley over UMKC 86-76. Weber State over Eastern Washington 70-67. Idaho defeats Idaho State 77-62. Loyola Marymount over Portland 79-78. San Diego State defeats Utah State 74-55. The Fighting Aztecs. Seattle over Chicago State 65-50. UC Santa Barbara over Cal Poly 58-53. UC Davis defeats Cal State Northridge 71-68. San Diego defeating San Diego University over BYU 88-75. San Francisco Pacific University 72-51. And then finally from Saturday, Hawaii defeats Long Beach State 114-107 in overtime. Now taking a look for Sunday, only 14 games on Sunday. Number 22 Cincinnati defeated East Carolina 55-46. Number 25 USC over Colorado 71-68. Indiana over Rutgers 76-57. Ohio State over Michigan State 72-67. St. Peter's over Rider 71-65. Siena over Fairfield 63-54. Rhode Island over Massachusetts 79-77. Northern Iowa defeats Drake 79-60. Southeastern Louisiana defeats McNeese State 79-75. Loyola Chicago over Missouri State 77-71. LaSalle over George Washington 79-69. SMU over Tulane 80-64. Georgia Tech over North Carolina State 86-76. And then finally Northwestern defeats Iowa 89-54. Take a look at what's going on for today. A bunch of games are still going on. Of course, there was a bunch of daytime games today. So we got some final scores from earlier on for Monday. Wednesday we'll have Monday and Tuesday scores. But here's what we got so far as far as final scores for this Monday. Number 7 Creighton defeated number 22 Xavier today, 72-67. Number 13 Butler defeats Marquette, 88-80. Vermont over New Hampshire, 71-59.